Going into the castle. And they fraffed off and left me. My foot went. The Strickland family. I wanted kitty cats. Oh, very nice. Nothing to do with us then, the swans behind us. Oh, good. Some weapons, or type of weapons, and a shield. And a nice, decent wooden unit. Oh, kingfisher. And taxidermy. Oh, is that looks like a heron? There's some more. Joni can't come with us because she's in a wheelchair, unless she's walking. Pilgrim's Adventure. That's if anybody, brings children, so they can write down. That's a good idea. Some bits I'll cut out eventually. Oh, sugar, I didn't see the bust in the vases, jars. It's another taxidermy. Looks like a pheasant. Yes, it is a pheasant. It's a bust. It doesn't say who it is. Look at those jugs. By the National Trust, some leaflets, literature. So I'll read some of this literature out in between this video, so that will be very interesting. Oops, take this with me. Fireplace. And that'll be your wood or coal bucket. At the moment they're using wood. And there's a few more of the weaponry that they had in the castle. Yeah. Whoops, I'm a bit wobbly today. So I'm swapping hands over. But that's pretty cool. Trying to avoid which way we got. We're going in this way, or can't we go that way? Says one place, one family, 800 years. Ah, right, it's a film there. Kriss and Joni and all of them have gone in there. Says there's a little space, can get very crowded. Henry Hornold's Strickland welcomes you. Right, it's the beginning of the tour. What time? One's at 3 o'clock. Our screening's at 3:15.
I've not seen the video, it's just through there and it's worth seeing.
Is it? Okay, thank you. It's worth seeing. Thank you. Next showing. Oh, cool. Oh, my days. Just
every time I come in here, I am usually here for about 3 or 4 hours because I get distracted. And it's a nightmare getting out, you know, find something, well, that's interesting, that's interesting. We've got a lot of documents in this mirror room. We've got documents going back to 1100, roughly. There must be a good 5,000 documents in here. We had a priest who lived in the house in about 1770, whose official job was, of course, not being a priest, because Catholic priests were not allowed to exist at the time. His official job was archivist, and actually he was a very good archivist. His name is Father Thomas West. These go from very earliest, about 1100, right the way through to the time he was working, which is around 1780. They look as though they've been written yesterday, practically. They're in amazing condition for their age. One of the big problems that happens with medieval deeds, as you can see, is they're very small, because parchment was expensive. So some of them, like this one, it's only about the size of half a pocket handkerchief. So you can imagine trying to keep that for 700 years and not lose it or have it eaten is tricky. But once you've got them sewn into a book like this, it's much easier to make sure they survive. In this room, my grandfather used to do a lot of work on the archives, a tremendous amount of work. Over the course of his lifetime, he wrote a book, which is called the Book of Tom, and this is it. One can't comprehend the amount of work that's in this without seeing it. I find it quite staggering. So this needs to see the light of day at some point. It can't be kept here. What he was trying to do was write the complete history of the family, all the generations up to and including my father, whose name was Tom. So this is known as the Book of Tom, simply because that's where it ends. So I'm not in it, but never mind. It starts with the name Strickland, where it came from. Then we have the family tree, starting with the earliest Strickland we know about. There's also in here a history of the estate and a history of the coat of arms. We have a coat of arms on the tower, so that's one of the earliest evidences of it. Where did the crest come from? It's a holly tree. What's the significance of that, etc. The motto, Sans Mal, without evil. I mean, look at me, you can tell, can't you? And all the other things that he felt was important to record. So it is the most extraordinary work, and one which at some point I'm going to have to learn, aren't I? I think that's going to be a life's work. Everything in the house has a meaning for me. Every piece of furniture, every picture has a very, very strong connection to the family. The place is alive in a curious way, alive with the past. Sizergy feels very much like my home, but it also feels like I'm surrounded, if you like, by my ancestors. Not just because their pictures are hanging on the wall, but because their spirit is in here as well. We've basically been at Sizergy since the mid-1200s, which is an awfully long time. This is the marriage settlement. It's the way in which the Strickland family came into possession of Sizergy.
You smell rotten eggs.
We were at that time living in the north of the county, north of Westmoreland, at a place called Great Strickland, which we take our name from. The Strickland of the day married Elizabeth Danecourt, who owned Sizergy. She was the heiress, the only daughter, and so she inherited, and therefore Strickland also inherited Sizergy in 1239. Sizergy at that date didn't exist in the form that it exists now. We know that in the late 1300s, the oldest part of the existing house was built, and that is the main tower. Then, over the centuries, various bits were added on to Sizergy. What you find is it's a higgledy-piggledy type of house, with all sorts of bits and pieces added on, all in different periods. It is a reflection of the ups and downs of the family over the centuries. The family probably made their money in the early days by being asked by the king or by various nobles to arrange men-at-arms to go and fight, particularly on the border with Scotland, because we're quite close to Scotland here. We have records here which show that we were able to provide about 200 men as practically a private army, which is an enormous number. And these people probably would be tenants of ours from the estate. During that period, the family was involved in fighting for the king, both in Scotland and also in the 100 Years' War, which of course was between the English king and the French king. Part of the 100 Years' War was, of course, the Battle of Agincourt, which took place in 1415. In that battle, Thomas Strickland was fortunate enough to carry the banner of St. George. Now, the banners were like a kind of symbol of the different sides. And if you captured the banner, it was a major psychological blow to the opposing side. If you were asked to carry one of the banners, it was an enormous honour. It meant that you were recognised as one of the premier warriors, basically, at the time. So he must have been extremely fit and obviously extremely warlike as well. Just like me, in fact. He survived. Well, hardly anybody on the English side died in the battle. Actually, they were all French. My wife is French. She doesn't like talking about it. For some reason. So this is a document, 1418. Just after the Battle of Agincourt, 3 years later. Probably it was done because Thomas Strickland was promised by Henry V a certain sum of money for taking part in the campaign in France. What Thomas was promised, we know, is a share of the spoils and a certain amount of money, probably. The king had to pledge property that he had to guarantee that he would get paid in the end. And we know that in Thomas's case, he pledged a whole lot of silver plate and various other things that belonged to the king. Henry V died quite soon after Agincourt, and he still hadn't been paid anything, so he eventually had to petition Henry V's successor. You owe me all this money, pay up, or maybe I'll have to sell the plate. And I think in the end, he sold the plate and got his money that way. Maybe he kept the silver, perhaps it's still here. That's a thought. After that, it was more or less downhill all the way for the family because we tended to back the wrong horse in history multiple times. So, first mistake we made, if you can call it that, is that we remained Catholic throughout our history. This was not a good idea after the Reformation. We have amongst the documents something called a papal bull, which was sent to us by the Pope at the time in about 1439. And basically that is a document saying that you can have Mass said in the house whenever you want, signed the Pope. Show this to any priest who tries to interfere. And it was very important, obviously, after the Reformation, because we could carry on having Masses here when Catholic churches were banned, basically, although we had to do it in secret. That is one thread of the family story, which is Catholicism throughout. So that was mistake number one, if you like. Mistake number two, we backed the Royalists in the Civil War, came out on the losing side. Both Sir Robert Strickland and his son, Sir Thomas, were both involved in the fighting. So you have the Civil War, and it ends with defeat for the Royalists and the imprisonment of Charles I, and ultimately his execution in 1649. And then you have the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell, at the end of which the monarchy gets restored in 1660 under Charles II. Charles II was quite careful in the way he ruled, and he was outwardly a Protestant because that's what the population wanted. His brother, who succeeded him, James II, was an out-and-out Catholic and made no bones about it. So for the family, it was good news, finally. We threw in our lot with him. Various members of the family were employed at court of James II. But this is a blank commission we have in the family, which is signed by James II. The king, typically before a battle or a military engagement, would write out effectively what's a promotion and then fill in the name and the position on the battlefield. And this is because people get killed and you have to replace them suddenly. Or people do extraordinary things and you want to give them a promotion on the spot. And curiously, it's dated the 8th year of his reign. Now, he didn't reign for 8 years in England, but he, of course, thought after he'd been deposed that he was still the king. He lasted about 3 years or 4 years as king, and then he was booted out by William of Orange. Went into exile in France. We went into exile with him, so for a period of about 15 years, there was no member of the family living in Sizergy. And Sizergy, in order to prevent it being confiscated, for us, once again having been on the losing side, was put into the name of the family's agent who ran the estate for 15 years in our absence. And there must have been a side deal to enable us to come back and reclaim it, which he, to his credit, honoured. And so the family came back in 1698 or 9. We were in a relatively impoverished position by then, so for probably most of the next 100 years, not a great deal of work was done at Sizergy, and the house started to suffer. The roof leaked, things went downhill basically, and didn't really start recovering until the late 1700s. One of my ancestors, Cecilia Strickland, had a little bit of money from her own family and spent it trying to keep the house together in one piece. So after the early 1800s, nothing much was done for the rest of that century, and the family fortunes was steadily in decline again. Sizergy was mortgaged, heavily in debt, and my great-grandfather, who was not living at Sizergy because he was from a junior line of the family, ended up buying Sizergy from his cousin, who had inherited it, but hadn't got the money to stay here any longer. So my great-grandfather, who was Lord Strickland, bought the house and started to do some more work to it. After his time, my grandfather and grandmother inherited the house, and they decided the only way to preserve it for the future was to make a gift to the National Trust. I live at Sizergy. It's definitely very much a family home. A house is a home only if it is used and not presented simply as a museum. Sizergy is alive, and we aim to keep it that way. So there you have it, the Book of Tom, in 2 slim volumes. One of my projects in here is to digitize all of this stuff. I don't think I'll live long enough to do it, but you never know. So, that's it.
That does look like a duck-billed platypus, but it's definitely very old. And then a weasel, perhaps. Beautiful birds. No. Bookcase. Brian's dictionary. What are they doing with this dictionary? Oh, I'm coming now. Just taking my time. Felt like there was a step there. Wow. It's alright, you can go because I'm not filming. Yeah, I'm filming a pie. It's a cool painting. Let's have a look, see what it's called. The Elopement. F. Hayman, 1708 to 1776. An illustration for Richardson's Pamela, formerly in the alcoves of Vauxhall Gardens. The coat of arms. Oh, fuck. And then, since I've just finished jiggling, another painting. That clock. Beautiful. Another vase. Just realised that's a huge trunk. Right, let's try and make it up these stairs. There's the door. It's beautiful. How well that is made. Gorgeous. Into this room. Oh my days. Oh wow, look at the work. Craftsmanship on that. That's beautiful. Stop picking on me, child.
Not a private conversation, are you?
Oh yes, yeah. I can feel you picking on me.
Would I do that?
Yes. Oops.
Sorry, did it this way.
The dining room. Oh, these are the ones to stay here, I'm assuming. Yes, definitely. I've been picking up the odd ones that they had stacks of. But, you know, I've been so many National Trust buildings, places, castles. I do need to become a member. Definitely. Yeah, my hand's having a daft spanner moment. Shaking. Flipping head. What is that? Oh. Dining room, that's dining room, that's dining room. Yeah. Cool. Is that a mechanism for a clock or something? What is that? Oh, of course, a dumbwaiter. Because normally you don't see this side, sorry. You just usually see the other side with the thing that pulls up and the tray that comes up. Of course, it's a dumbwaiter. Haven't been many fires there, judging from the scorch marks at the back. Here we go. More coat of arms. Right, go to a different area. Right, we'll leave that one. Beautiful. I love that. Trying to see what that says. Thomas Carner von. Oh, sounds French. Look at that. And he went over the carpet. But still, how pretty. That's why somebody's put a kink in the carpet. Something to do with William Orange, I'm assuming. Hence the oranges. Greetings from Malta. And a bust. An orange tree. Family members. Wish there were signs to say who they were. Cake stands. I do love these type of tables. Look at that. A display of plates. I'm not going to look at every single one. Got all the tapestry. I'm meant to walk on it. I feel uncomfortable walking on it now. It's got to be called the tapestry room for a reason. I don't think we've seen anything signed for it, but I'm assuming it is.
Sometimes I'll stand like that. Did you used to work on my head?
The library.
That was my digging. Can you see it? Was that it? Oh, window. Oh, right. It's got house on it. Shut. Right.
Hang on for us, Simon. I think they've just put bits of holly or something on the chairs to stop people sitting on them, I'm assuming. Good idea, really. Please do not touch. Well, judging by the finish, don't exactly want all your oils of your skin damaging the box.
Old school late starters.
More family members. Oh, look at that typewriter. I wonder what he's thinking about. More tapestry. Right, let's get moving. You may have noticed that one painting of Thomas Strickland, 1682 to 1716, Bishop of Namur, is missing from this room. You can actually hear the clock from here. So it's even working. It's pretty cool. Oh wow, they are beautiful. Look at them. Look at that sword. What's that say? Let's see. Sword and scarab labelled historically as belonging to Jared Edward Strickland and inscribed with the maker's name. Farmin and Sons Limited. Cool. Oh fudge. Right, let me just pause. crystal glasses. 1837 to 1981. It's a celebration one. What's that say? Yeah. Dent glass, 1976, silver wedding. That's cool. My balance is really bad today. Certificate of office, tea. Very nice. Say Lady Blunt, nee Alice Strickland. So that's who this lady is in the portrait. I love beautiful units, display units that is. Another clock. Oh. Grab a sheet from there because they're to take. They've actually got that fire going.
It's not really.
And it,
There's one downstairs.
all right. Fair enough. All you see is these shells everywhere. Again, coat of arms. Look how beautiful that is. So that's ceramics. Look at that fan. Chinese fan. There you go. Worcester, 1760. Squares marks in underglaze blue.
The objects will be, they're not going to be the same objects as they were before the flood and damage, but they will still have the liveness to be resilient and continue to be as resilient as Sizergy.
Is that locks of hair? It is.
Soon they're walking through the house, I can feel this was like the water.
Is that more hair? Is it part of a beard?
And then I've got eye now.
Wow.
The door was wide open, a very bad feeling, something's not right, hair's everywhere. I came in and Jason was rushing towards me down the corridor. He He just said it's happened, it's flooded. It's the unknown. How bad is it? How much water? How long has it been running for? It was over a weekend, so the staff haven't been directly working in the house. So at that point you don't really know what you're going to find, but of course there's a feeling of complete dread. When I saw it all coming into the lower hall, there was a waterfall just cascading down. I couldn't believe the sheer quantity of water that was just coming through the ceiling.
It's hard to kind of imagine what's going on upstairs at the time as well, because bear in mind it's coming through the bottom floor of the house. What's going on further
How
up
good
the
is that
house.
effect?
My first thought was, where is it coming from? So I just remember looking through the
That
house,
has such a good effect,
running
that.
upstairs. Jason said, I don't know where it's coming in from, so we were checking the rooms.
You're running upstairs. But we're almost hoping to find a source that it wasn't all the way at the top, because of course it would have meant less impact. But as we got further throughout the house, it was more apparent that it was right at the top, and it had come through all over the floors.
Oh wow.
I ran up to the roof space, up the ladder hatch, through the roof space, crawled through. I was on the roof directly above the drawing room. Nothing was overflowing. I could see, I couldn't figure it out. It was only when I was coming back through, and it was in the dark, through the roof space, the light caught this water shooting out of the pipe, and I could see the T-joint, the compression joint, attached.
So as soon as we found that, we knew what to do. We went to stop the water.
I could see that it had been turned off at the main level to leave that, get downstairs, and begin the emergency salvage.
It felt very overwhelming because you knew it was only the beginning of the whole day, but then it kind of got worse because then you saw the paintings.
We were so unlucky, but only 3 days prior, we had just moved a rack of paintings directly below what turned out to be the area of flooding.
We just pulled back the paintings, just everything was just dripping.
As we were lifting onto our nitrile gloves, just the gilt was just falling onto them. Chunks of the frames were falling off in our hands, and obviously we don't want to cause any more damage in moving them and salvaging them that's already been caused, but we have to get them into a dry environment.
Just awful seeing how our gloves were just completely gold from all the gilt that was just slime.
Okay. Another room, I don't know what it is. I'll find out. It's a stone parlour. So this is a bit more updated, this, with the telephone there. So as I said in the video, as years went by, they upgraded bits, extra bits on the building, on the castle. The old bureau.
Oh. Shep up. What? Why? Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, you got a phone?
And the camera's moving on its own. The old dining room.
This is one of my favourite rooms. It is. We used to spend a lot of time here.
Very beautiful. Wow.
Dark wood. And this, I couldn't tell you earlier, this is
Grandmother clock. I have.
I lose track of. So it's been long tables, benches here for about 20 people. It's more intimate dining. And it's here because the Tudor kitchen yeah. And then obviously it's the sitting room. We've got the old Stolen mantle, which is 1563.
Very interesting.
Showing all the families that been married into, bringing more money into the house. You marry unless you brought money.
It's always really political, isn't it? That if you wish
Mary de la Sherry.
that brings that line from
That's it, yeah.
Did you watch the video of Henry downstairs? Not yet.
She's a very pretty lady.
Yeah, make sure you do it. Yeah, last showing is 3:15. So,
Is this all the rooms on this level?
it is, yeah. So definitely watch because it's interesting. And it comes across really well.
When was the actual flood? Because there's no information.
December, no, it doesn't tell you.
It doesn't tell you when it actually was.
December 2023.
That's quite recent, that.
Yeah. Oh, it's tragic. Yeah.
It's effectively a burst pipe up in the
In the T-junction or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some of that.
It's made a right mess.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
The trouble was, you won't believe it, but in 2022, almost to the year, to the week, should I say, there'd been a flood the previous year, and we'd had the carpets up all that season in 2023. All the carpets were up, ceiling, we had scaffolding up to paint the ceiling, dry it all out, dehumidify.
Oh wow, that's
We
pretty.
just got it back, as you heard on there, and they put the rack of joists on
Fudge.
the painting and sprayed
Come on,
it
do as
down,
you're told.
and then it came back down on top of the
Couldn't
size of the room.
You couldn't nick it up, could you?
Could
No.
No.
Is this place haunted?
No. Well, I've never seen anything.
Okay.
Right, if you've got something on there, let me
Oh
know.
no, I've not seen anything. Just strange smells. That's all.
I've been here 15 years and I've never seen or felt anything. In fact, I think it's got a very. I've been here in pitch black and nothing. No.
Okay.
The only place I'd say is ladies' toilets downstairs. If there was anywhere,
Why? What was in the ladies' toilets downstairs?
it would be where the servants would bring the food through a hatch and bring
It's in the dumb waiter as well. The mechanism behind it.
the what? Sorry.
Dumb waiter.
That's new. That's 1900s.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the older
I'm
part.
talking about the older one, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
No, it's not haunted.
Okay.
There's been a few people said it is.
Yeah. We smelt something not nice. That's usually a bit of a negative smell.
The volunteers, the lady, she's an elderly, well, she's finished now, but she was here for 22 years.
Yes.
She said she could smell smoke in there.
You can do that sometimes as well.
Mary from Ghosts.
Yes.
Poor Mary.
Yeah, come there. That's brilliant, that programme.
Oh no.
But they say that it was George Strickland. The rumour is it's George
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be.
smoking his pipe, cigar or pipe.
Cigar pipe, yes.
I've never.
You never know. If you're confident sometimes, or if you've got your mind open, then you can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
I think the best thing is don't think about it and it won't happen.
Fair enough. Anyway, thank you very much. How's the little room? Mission Roman. Rosan. I can't say that. How's that book? Well, I can't read Latin, so.
Why not?
What do you mean what? Why not? Sweating like a good one.
People just tell us. Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
I'm gonna have to go to the toilet again myself. My stomach's just had enough. Is anything in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like how they put bits of leaves and holly on there to stop people sitting on them. You've noticed.
Because you can't move them.
I know you can, but the people they've done it as a deterrent.
Yeah. Heavy man.
So I'm assuming they're doing bits of restoration to this place still. These windows. Easy routes, then turn left. In those rooms. Right, stop. These are some of the things that I picked up at Sizergy Hall. It's got this little pad with a pen. Then I got some fridge magnets. So there's this one. It says Sizergy Hall it is, and it's Sizergy Castle. But it didn't feel like a castle, but I suppose it's whatever the family called it. And here's a fridge magnet, a different one, because it basically shows you where it was. And then other bits and pieces. Let's see. Postcard. Then the bedroom. Then got a wand. Simon picked up this squid-like pen because he said it was weird, and I like weird and purple. Another postcard. It's a place we went to before, but it wasn't that good. It was Haunton Tower. We weren't allowed to film inside it, so that's why that video wasn't there. We actually went there and then found out we couldn't video, so it was like, yeah, not good. I think it's meant to mean something. There you go. Luck. That's from Haunton Tower. We just put it all together because they're both the places were to do with the National Trust. When visitors depart and sunlight dapples on my ancient stone, I bask in mellow evenings, balmy glow, bestowed when heat of summer's day has gone. My spirits come to life, as peace descends, my walls do recall those people past and present who were here, the royal banquets, Civil War and all. My name is Horton Tower, above my Norman landscape I survey. Far mountains, roads and rivers spread before me, so tranquil in this fading of the day. Birds settled on my roof, and distant city lights I see below, but mine are dimmed as I await tomorrow, when all my splendours once again I'll show. It says, now here's a winter sky, and less benigh my ramparts dark and still. A silent snowfall shrouds me in its cloak, so ghostly now the house upon the hill. It just gives it a bit of an eerie look because it's like it's surrounded with mist. I think that's everything in that bag. Yes, it is. I didn't really do an intro or an outro. Reason was, basically, we left very, very quickly. That's just off my keychain that's fell off. I'll show you L. Yeah, we left that quickly because Joni took really, really ill. And that's my son's wife. So we had to go home in the end. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.